Hey guys, it's Dan, your host here, Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another ranking video. We're going to be ranking all of the season premieres of the show from worst to best. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another video for today. This one's going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another video. We're going to be doing our first official ranking list for Fear the Walking Dead. I know a lot of you guys were suggesting this one last week, which is you guys wanted to go ahead and see after, of course, all of the Walking Dead ranking videos that we did for premieres and mid-season finales and all that kind of stuff. You guys want to go ahead and see rankings for other episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. So I figured, I was like, you know what, we'll test out one of these videos, we'll release this premiere video, and we'll see how it does. And if you guys enjoy this video, and if this video is something that you guys think would be good to, you know, continue and maybe do one for the finales and the mid-season finales and stuff like that, we'll go ahead and do it. But this is more so of a test video just to see if Fear the Walking Dead still has that kind of demand, and then I'll make sure to kind of make a decision once I see how this video does. But anyway, let's get into this. So we have 7 premieres of Fear the Walking Dead. We're about to witness our last one in about a month's time. So once we get that episode, we may actually update this list and include 801 in the list. But as of right now, my favorite to least favorite premieres of Fear the Walking Dead, let's get right into it. Number 7 is easily going to go to Season 2, Episode 1, Monster. Now, this is an episode that I remember even when it aired, I was just bored out of my mind, okay? I'm going to be honest about that. I was bored out of my damn mind when I first saw this episode because here's the thing about it, right? It mostly is just them chilling on a boat. I mean, literally, it's just them sitting on a boat. Nick goes for a swim. They deal with the death of Liza. They, of course, dump her body into the water. And yeah, like, you know, you get some minor things here and there, like some people that are trying to kind of get on the Abigail and stuff. But I mean, it's a very just chill and uneventful episode, I hate to admit. And for a premiere, I do not think it works. I think it's actually a very poor attempt at a season premiere. Number 6 is going to be a little bit of a surprise for people, I think. Number 6 is going to be Season 1, Episode 1, Pilot. Now, I think that this is a pretty solid episode. I mean, it's not like bad or anything, but I wasn't blown away with this premiere either. Like, I remember when I saw the pilot of Fear, I was just like, okay, like, you know, it's there. It's not mind-blowing or anything, but I will say the opening scene with Nick and Gloria is really, really good. I mean, they have some very classic horror vibes to that scene, and it's very, very well done. And I thought that Nick was easily the best character of this pilot because we're getting to see things through his perspective. And we know that he's not lying. We know that he's telling the truth. But Maddie and Travis and Alicia and some of the others, they don't know that, you know, because they know that he's, you know, been under the influence. So maybe he's just kind of delusional. Maybe he's out of it and stuff like that. But they kind of learn throughout this premiere that no, Nick is right, that, you know, the dead are coming back to life and, you know, are reanimated, if you will. And it's a pretty exciting thing. You know, even Nick's drug dealer in this one turns and they have to kind of run him over with the truck, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was, you know, a solid start. I don't think it's any kind of Days Gone By worthy type episode, but it's, you know, it's pretty good for sure. It's definitely better than the pilot for The World Beyond and The Tales of the Walking Dead, for sure. It's definitely better than those two because there's at least intrigue with this one, and I think Nick is definitely a cool point of view. So, like I said, pretty good episode. Number 5 is then going to be 701. This one is The Beacon. Now, I do like this one an inch better than the pilot of Fear the Walking Dead, just for the simple reason that I think Strand in this episode was actually a really cool villain. Strand was a really, really cool kind of threat when it started, right? And at least in my opinion, I think Strand as a villain for the show is a really bad idea. I don't think Strand worked at all. He had this like weird baby obsession, and he had a lot of weird stuff going on. But in this episode in particular, it actually pisses me off because I really enjoyed what they did with him in this episode. You know, the villain laugh, the I don't give a frig, I'm gonna kill you, Will, if you don't show me where Alicia is. And they added a lot of layers to him, you know, like he's in charge of this settlement, he's very cocky, he's very full of himself, but when it comes to Alicia, he practically hits the pause button on everything and goes out there to find her, you know. And I think there were a lot of cool things in this one, in particular when he throws Will off the roof, And you almost get like, which I guarantee this is definitely a reference to The Walking Dead, is, Will, when he falls off the roof of the tower, of course, we get to see him as a walker, and you get like the one eye that's like popping out. And I'm like, of course they do that on 701 of Fear, like the eyeball popping out and stuff. I definitely think that was a reference to Walking Dead, and I think that was really cool that they did that. And I don't know, Will was a cool character. I think it was a cool episode, and it was very, very good to start off the premiere with Strand. I think it was definitely a really cool episode. I wish his villain arc would have continued to be as good as it was in this episode, but I still got to give credit where credit is due somewhere. I still think this is a good episode. So, yeah, number 4 is then going to be 501, Here to Help. Now, this is actually one of them rare times where I think Fear the Walking Dead in Season 5 actually did pretty good. I don't know what it is with Fear the Walking Dead and their premieres. Their premieres are pretty damn good, like pretty much all of them. But it's because they draw you in and then it starts sucking after a few episodes. But I'll say this about 501, which actually proves to you that they can write. They just choose not to write good. But anyway, that's topic for another day. This episode was really cool. You got to see the plane crash. You get to see a lot of great walker battles, a lot of great walker fights. You get Logan, who takes over the factory, which I thought was a really intense scene. He was actually pretty intimidating too. Like for his first episode, I thought he was actually pretty intimidating. Later on, he kind of gets a little weird, but I thought it was pretty intimidating for this first episode. And I love it, too, because you get the scenes with the CRM. You get Althea, who's captured, so there's a lot of intrigue there, of course, because of the whole Rick Grimes thing. And probably my favorite scene of this episode is when you have Strand that's watching Althea's tapes, and he's like, going through it or whatever, and he sees Danielle Salazar, and it's like, oh, frig, man, really? Like, damn, okay, so, I don't know, I thought that was so cool, getting the reveal of Daniel, getting the CRM connections, getting to see all the Walker action. Alicia was a badass in this episode. Yeah, there was a lot of really great stuff in 501. Number 3 is then going to be Season 3, Episode 1, Eye of the Beholder. Now, this is a pretty intense episode. This one had to get in the top 3 because I really, really dig this episode. You've got Troy that's doing like the kind of experiments or whatever on the people that arrive at the border. He, in this episode, is capturing people. He's experimenting on them, and Madison just is not having it, Madison literally stabs him in the eye with a freaking, like a spoon or whatever, which somehow his eye is just fine. I never understood that part, but whatever. It's a cool scene for Madison either way. And you get Travis that's like fighting these walkers in this pit, which I guess apparently this is when the guy got bit, but either way, it was still a very exciting sequence. And I think it was definitely a really, really cool scene. It was a cool kind of episode. They're locked up by this border. You get the military that are chasing them down every 2 seconds. You got walkers everywhere. And it was just a really, really cool episode. You get introduced to Jake in this episode, who is a really cool character. And it really set the stage for Troy and Jake and just the whole Otto storyline that we had in Season 3 very, very well in this episode. And I think it was really, really good. Coming in at number 2 is then going to be 401. This one is the first episode of Morgan in the series in Fear the Walking Dead. Well, I'll say this right now. This is probably one of my favorite premieres of the Walking Dead universe in general. This is probably one of the most criminally underrated episodes I've heard of. I've never seen anybody that says, oh, this is a great episode. I always hear people say, oh, it's the crossover with Morgan. Oh, it's stupid, And even though I agree, I don't think Morgan should have taken over Fear the Walking Dead. I don't think they should have done that. This first episode with him, getting to see him at the junkyard, making it feel practically like a Walking Dead episode, getting to see Rick, getting to see Carol, getting to see Jesus. I mean, it was so cool to see that. It felt like you were watching Walking Dead for like a certain amount of it. And then you get introduced to John Dory, who is a phenomenal character, passes everybody little candies and stuff like that, but he's a trick shooter at the same time, so he's a badass, but he's got a good heart. And you've got Althea, who's got the badass SWAT vehicle, and of course she's, taking stories and interviews from people and stuff, trying to find out what they're about. And again, underrated opinion, I think Althea is actually a really cool character. I know a lot of people don't like Althea. I think Althea is pretty good, Does she maybe go a little overboard with the camera? Yeah, absolutely. But as an overall character, everybody acts like she sucks. I'm like, no, aside from the camera crap, I think she's actually really good. You know, the actress is good, and yeah, you know, the overall story for her has been pretty solid. So yeah, John Dory, Althea introduction, really like both of those characters, in particular John Dory. So that was really good in this episode. And the ambush on the road with the Fear Crew at the end too. I mean, chills, dude. Like honestly, that to me that was actually a phenomenal reintroduction to the Fear Crew. I just wish that they would have followed it up better. You know, like actually follow up on that cliffhanger, and like maybe Madison comes out of the woods too, you know, and then it's like, oh my god, then it's like, we're gonna take you back to the stadium, we're gonna get answers, you know, you're the vultures, we know you are, you know, like stuff like that. That would have been really cool. But instead, now Madison's just dead, and you know, this just completely goes to crap. They kill Nick, and you know whatever the case may be. But at least for this first episode, I think they did very good. But the best Fear the Walking Dead episode, without any doubt in my mind, the best Fear, not only premiere, but best Fear episode in general, is Season 6, Episode 1, The End is the Beginning. This, to me, was just, they took a cliffhanger that was so awful, and they turned it into something that was so good. I mean, it was so good. I mean, I still don't like the cliffhanger at the end of Season 5, but I love the way that they followed up on it. I really do. The red eyes with Morgan was so good. The intensity of him being hunted by this Emil guy, this like bounty hunter dude who was played amazingly, of course. Very, very cool stuff. And, you know, he was a very intimidating kind of bad guy for this first episode, you know, the Emil character. And I actually kind of wish that he was the main villain of Season 6 because he would have been really, really good. But I think it also kind of worked out, though, at the same time because you had that badass, you know, fight between him and Morgan. And you had the Isaac character that was also kind of involved in this whole thing. And overall, Morgan did win. He actually does kill him, kills him with his own axe. And, of course, he starts using the axe, takes the outfit, takes everything with him, and dresses up as a freaking cowboy, murderer like cowboy, and is going to be coming after Virginia, right? And I love it too. Morgan Jones is dead, but you're dealing with somebody else now. So it was great. Yeah, to me, they have never topped this first episode in terms of like premiere episodes, and well, just in episodes of Fear the Walking Dead in general. I don't think they've made an episode as good as that one, to be honest. And I would be shocked. I would be shell shocked if 801 was as good as this, because in my mind, I don't think it will be. I think 601 will always be the king of premieres of Fear the Walking Dead, as it deserves to be as well too. So as you guys can probably tell from this list, I actually quite enjoy the Fear the Walking Dead premieres. It's actually an aspect of Fear the Walking Dead, even during the Ian and Andrew era, that I do enjoy. Finales, well, if you guys want to see ranking video for the finales, I've got quite the opinion on the finales of Fear, but at least in terms of the premieres, I think they knock it out of the park almost every time. You know, even 201, it's like, it's not the worst episode in the world. It's just boring, you know, and the rest are pretty damn good, right? And in particular, the last, like, the top 5 in particular, yeah, really good stuff. So let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think of this list? What is your list in the comment section below? Of course, feel free to leave it down below. And of course, that is it for this video, guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos for Fear the Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll be seeing you guys really soon for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.